All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Zen Master Sebastian Rizzon, founder of the Zen Art Center and the Mind Light Way School of Zen. Thank you for joining us. I lead these guided meditations on the first Thursday of every month from 7 to 8 p.m., and I also hold Dharma talks and meditations on the third Thursday of every month from 7 to 8 p.m. You can also find these streamed live on our YouTube channel at the Zen Art Center. So tonight we're going to be going through a series of koan meditations. In Zen, koans are questions, stories, or statements meant to prompt you into deep contemplation until all of your thoughts are completely exhausted and your thinking completely stops. The purpose is to bring you into direct experience as it is. For tonight's meditation, I'll give you a few koans to consider, and over the course of the meditation, I'll be giving you a series of questions and statements to contemplate. The idea is to just to contemplate these until all of your thoughts are exhausted and your thinking completely stops. But first, let's just start by preparing ourselves for meditation. You can start by crossing your legs. Try to keep your neck and back straight. Your eyes will be closed for most of these meditations, but if they were open, they would be at a 45-degree angle, gazing at the floor. You want your hands right hand, left hand, touching your thumbs and centered in your lap. If you get uncomfortable during any of these meditations, feel free to adjust the position, stretch out. The position isn't so critical as being able to sit and continue your meditation. So if you need to sit on a chair, feel free to do that. And for the first part of meditation, I'm going to turn it over to one of our Zen teachers here, Nadia. And she's going to guide us through a breathing technique that can help you clear your mind and prepare your body for meditation. Then she'll be doing a crystal bowl sound meditation to help us with clearing our mind before we start with the koans. So I'll turn it over to you, Nadia. And
Mic check.
The mic is not on. Hold on. You're good.
Okay. So I want you first to start breathing a little slower and a little deeper than you usually do. Take one deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Let's keep breathing deeper and slower than we usually do. And let's bring our attention to our heart in the middle of our chest. As you listen to my voice, keep breathing deeper and slower. Feel your breath coming in through your nose and moving the energy from your brain into your heart. And now let's breathe with our hearts. The goal of this breathing technique is to align our heart, body, mind, and breath. And when we practice this breathing technique, eventually it becomes our reset button in any sort of situation. So let's continue taking these deep and slow breaths. bring your attention to your heart and keep it on your heart. And feel your movements, feel the movements of this muscle inside your chest. In this next part of the meditation, we are going to use crystal balls. So we are going to use sound as our mantra. A mantra is a focal point of the meditation. As I'm going to be playing the crystal balls, bring your attention and keep it on the sound of the balls. Let the vibrations wash over you and carry all your thoughts away. And if you have any thoughts that come in, just let it be and bring your attention back to the balls.
For the remainder of tonight's guided meditation, I'll be guiding you through a series of koans to meditate on. Treat the koans as a mantra. A mantra is the focal point of meditation, usually a word or a phrase that's repeated silently within your mind. The word mantra literally translates to mean a tool to liberate your mind. We'll be using these koans to help us free our mind from the usual stream of thoughts, perceptions, and feelings that consume it. As I present you with questions, don't fixate on finding an intellectual answer, a narrative that you've learned, or even descriptive words. Just contemplate the underlying meaning of the question and the experience it's pointing you to. Keep your mind still by focusing on the koan. If a thought occurs, just let it go and return to the koan. Hold the question in your mind until it burns away all of your thoughts and liberates your mind from all of the conditions that keep it constrained. Allow your mind to become completely free from thought, to gain access to what is present in your experience. Now, I ask that you close your eyes and keep your breath slow and steady. Take a few minutes to meditate on each of these koans. Here's the first koan. What is the world made of as you experience it right now? Before you think, without any conceptual distinctions or descriptions, before any notion of what it is, before your senses tell you what it seems to be. Where is your experience happening? Is there anything outside of it? Where is the line between the world and your experience of the world? Can you find the line? Where is your experience happening? Your awareness is filled with sights, sounds, scents, and sensations. If all of them vanished, along with your thoughts and memories, what remains? Notice every sensation, every thought, every feeling, everything appears in awareness. Have you ever notice thoughts, sensations, emotions, objects, all appearing in awareness? But what about awareness itself? Where does it end or begin? Is awareness ever separate from what it knows? Notice that all of these boundaries between self and world, mind and experience, subject and object, only appear as thoughts. When the thought of these separations fades, what remains? Are these divisions real? Now, let all of these questions fall away. Abide in the stillness of the mind. As sounds, thoughts, or sensations return, don't cling or reject. Let everything appear and disappear in its own rhythm. Notice that awareness never changes. The stillness and movement together are one, inseparable from awareness. Before I continue the talk, take a moment to contemplate your experience and where you are right now. Everything we just did, the breathing, the sound, the meditation, once you abide in your experience as it is, there's no need to cling to the medicine or any particular method. The koans, the meditation, and the teachings don't give you enlightenment. They show you the limits of knowledge and practice, pointing you beyond to your own insight. I spent 16 years living with my teacher in his temple, listening to his teachings, and practicing sitting and moving meditation. Sitting meditation is what we practice today, but moving meditation is equally and maybe even more important. Moving meditation means treating everything you do as a meditation by fully engaging with whatever you're doing and completely giving it your full attention without letting your mind wander in a way that divides you from your experience. My main form of moving meditation practice has been martial arts, but it really could be anything you do, from an artistic practice, going for a walk, playing music, to giving your full attention to washing your dishes or having a conversation. I find it helpful to practice moving meditation by doing something that you enjoy doing that demands your attention. Over time, the practices of sitting and moving meditation allow you to deepen your engagement with your experience in every moment as it is, in a way that penetrates through the delusions of thought. You'll always have thoughts, feelings, and emotions, but the difference is if you are fully engaged with what is happening, you won't suffer from their delusive nature. By seeing things as they are, you can engage seamlessly with whatever conditions arise. This leads you to direct insight about what is happening, the wisdom of how to respond, and equanimity in your mind no matter what happens. This is the essence of Zen. If you follow this path, it leads you to liberation from suffering and the joy and peace that accompany that. In this holiday season and going forward into the new year, I hope you all can find joy and peace in your life. Now, I'll take questions from here or from the online audience if anyone has them. But before we do that, let's all just take one more moment of silence and a few slow and deep breaths to reflect. All right, let me know if anybody has any questions. I have questions for you. How was that experience? You're nodding your head, smiling. That looks good. So your first time attending one of these, how did that make you feel? Either one of you? Any?
It felt shorter than it actually was. Like
Mm.
the actual like physical time spent versus like, the perception of the like how long it took.
Mm. Why do you think that is?
I mean, like going back to what you were saying about like Zen and like appreciating and being present, I think I was like very focused on just like the experience itself rather than like other things.
Mm.
Like thinking that, okay, like 10 minutes has passed or like, like thinking about those external things.
Very interesting. See, this is what happens if you don't ask questions. I'm going to start to ask you questions. So what do you think that says about the nature of time?
It's subjective.
Mental concept.
I mean, even the physicists say it's relative, right? Yeah.
I just have a comment. I don't think I have that.
Okay.
But just meditating in a group is still my favorite type of meditation to do. Following your same notes, I just feel it goes by so much faster when I'm by myself. Even 15 minutes feels like really long. And I think also like the prompts, the koans for contemplation makes it also a very enjoyable experience.
I'm experimenting with changing the mics to see if that one picks up more.
If I turn it a little bit more.
Yeah. I agree there's something magical about the group meditation. Was this at all what you expected coming here? No expectations? That's good.
I have a question.
Sure.
For a mantra meditation, if it's just a sentence, a word, or a phrase, do you have a favorite one? Is there a magical one?
Is there a magical mantra meditation or a favorite phrase? I mean, I think it's different. The answer is going to be different for everyone. I think it's important for each person to find something that resonates with them. And it doesn't always have to be the same thing. So the one I'll go through a few options and then I'll get to mine because I think no one's going to know what mine is when I explain it until it. Just counting your breaths can be a very easy one to do. You don't need anything other than to just try to keep track of the numbers. If you get lost, it kind of is an indication you've lost your thought, your concentration and focus. So you just return to counting, starting at 1. Just try not to judge yourself in any of these. If thoughts come in, don't get upset with yourself. Don't think you're having a bad meditation. Just let it go. Let all of those thoughts go and come back to your mantra. The one I typically give to most people, which I think is very helpful and powerful, is the mantra, which I usually do in every class, which I didn't do today. But if you come to any other class, it will be the mantra I suggest, is koan-based. Koan-based is the bodhisattva of love and compassion in Korean Zen, and it's supposed to bring compassionate energy towards you while you meditate, which helps you clear your mind. It's Guanyin in Chinese and Avalokitesvara in Sanskrit. But I'm from a Korean lineage. We say Kwanseum Bosal, so that's how I always teach people. So Kwanseum Bosal. My personal favorite, what I do is, and this won't make sense to people who aren't familiar with like the practice I do, or people who practice with me. I actually visualize myself doing martial arts choreography. And sometimes I know like hundreds of choreographies, and so I just mentally go through them, visualizing myself doing them. I do that quite often. If I need to really cut through thinking, I do the first sword form I ever learned, the first sword choreography. And it really just, I can like use it to control my body, to like lower my heart rate, to lower my pulse. That one to me is the magical, most powerful one, but I don't think it's like, that's a uniform experience for everyone. So there's two answers there, or multiple answers, but yeah, so so that is my answer as far as that goes. But I don't think the magic is learning to focus, the teaching yourself to focus over and over again, getting past letting your mind wandering, getting past judging yourself, getting past getting upset that it's good meditation or bad meditation, just keeping going and getting like better and better at maintaining focus and engagement with the mantra or with whatever else you're doing in your life. And that is magical because it makes everything you do seem easier. It makes you better at everything you do. And that's like the true magic of life, that your mind, when you're completely focused, can do amazing things. And there's countless examples of it all across the world. None, you don't have to be a Zen master to focus your mind, but you can tell when people focus, we see it, and we see it happen, but we think it's unbelievable, right? That's the magic of life, and it's the magic of the mind. Thanks, and I just want to say thank you. If you have more questions, I'll take them as well. I want to say thank you to the people joining us online. We have a bunch of people chatting. I'm glad to see some of you enjoyed it, and people said they liked it online and liked the moving meditation, standing up and doing yoga meditation. I think yoga is like a great example. Probably people feel that type of focus when they're meditating or when they're doing yoga. They feel like they reach a flow state, something like that. I hear a lot of people say like that's one form of moving meditation they use. Tara, hi Tara. She says the progression was very beautiful. The breathing from our heart really brought my mind into my body, and then with every heart breath, I had full body chills. It was very beautiful. And thank you, Nadia, for leading us through that in the sound bowl. Any more questions? Feel free. I love answering questions. It lets me know what's on people's mind and what's relevant to what's going on and how I might be able to help.
I kind of have a comment. I was thinking about what you were talking about, like Zen and focus, and like what's that like experience that could be unique to every person that brings them into, like direct experience. And I thought of the fact that for me it could be like just sitting there watching dance, like in a theater. Like I love going to Boston Ballet, and so far I feel like that's for me that like one specific thing that brings me into like almost like direct attention to what's happening in front of me. I mean, I would have like other thoughts from time to time, but that's kind of like my immersive, awe-inspiring experience. And I was
Nice.
thinking about what you were saying about what people are able to create when they're in full focus. And like, I always appreciate so much just how possible or impossible like those, dances or maneuvers or choreographies are.
Yeah.
And kind of what that inspires in me. Like, I always have amazing thoughts when I'm sitting there watching dance.
Well, I have so much to respond to here. I will first just say for the people who didn't hear that you said watching dance was one of these experiences where you become incredibly focused, and you mentioned the Boston Ballet. I wanted to say that to everybody. I know Tara is one of the Zen students here, and she's watching remotely, and she's a dance. She runs a dance group, and I've done performances with them and watched performances and used they've danced to my poetry, so I've become a little more immersed into the dance world, and I really have appreciated it as you said, as a form of meditation and as an experience of meditation. And we actually just last month did an entire show which was intended to be a meditation beginning to end. And I really felt it. Like, I was part of it and I was on the stage, but I felt it there, and I thought it was really powerful. And there was a lot of like really personal parts that were not personal to me, but they felt very personal when I was watching it. And then as far as like the Boston Ballet, like I went to my first Boston Ballet with my niece, and because she wanted to see it, and I was blown away by what they are capable of. And like, I mean, just the standing on the toes is but it goes way beyond that. Yeah. So really appreciate that comment. Yeah, and it's very interesting, like when you're watching something like that, where like you're not performing, but this is like, it's a shared experience too. And I'm sure the dancers feed off of the energy of the audience as well.
Yeah. I was thinking back to what Nadia was saying about how group meditation is just so different from like solo meditation. And for me, like, I tried watching dance like just online. It's just so different from like sitting there, being in person, like in this physical space, and it's dark and the audience seats, and like, you're sitting next to all these other people who are like only paying attention to what's happening on stage. Like, that's just very different.
Yeah, there's definitely something powerful. Yeah, I've had similar experiences, even watching a show that I was at and then watching it in video. Totally different experience. Still beautiful, and I still appreciate it, but it's not the same level of depth that you get. Like, it's different when like you hear things different, you pick up on things, you feel the vibrations of the music on your skin and in your ears. It's like it's totally different, sensory experience, and much more rich in person. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I'm happy to answer, and if you have more questions, and if you enjoy the group meditation, please come join us again. We love having you here. It's not a group if we don't have people here, so the more the merrier. Yes. So I do want to make a couple announcements before people head out. We do these on the first Thursday of every month, and we do a Dharma talk and meditation on the third Thursday of every month, 7 to 8 p.m. So in 2 weeks, we'll have the Dharma talk. It's basically half talk. It's different structure. It's usually like half talking, half meditating, and just one type of meditation, usually just a mantra, like I said. But I also talk more about Zen teachings, different parts about the mind. A lot of Zen is about the mind and who you are and what's at the essence of your being, the foundation of your being. So I definitely invite you to all come back and check that out in 2 weeks. Secondly, like, we are in the middle of our year-end fundraising drive, so we try to keep all of these classes free and open to the general public. But we also do try to raise donations so that we can keep offering these and providing the free classes, workshops, meditation classes, and different creative groups. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and there's information on how to make a donation in the description on our YouTube channel, on our website, or at the door on your way out. You can check that out. If you'd like to help us out, we definitely appreciate your support. Aside from that, we have different moving meditation groups, and we practice art and writing together. So we have an art group and a writing group. The writing group is going to be this Sunday, 3:30 to 5, and then 2 weeks after that as well. It's always this month's an exception because of the holidays, but it's always on the second and fourth Sunday. And then we have the art group where we just create art together. We do a little sitting meditation and then just treating whatever the creative endeavor is as your meditation. And using the sitting meditation as a source of inspiration for our art. So that's on the third Sunday of every month. This month it's going to be on, I have the date here somewhere. It's, I don't have it down. Anyway, it's not this weekend, next weekend. And if you can't remember this, you can always check out our website, mindlightway.org. And if you have any questions, you don't need any experience to participate in any of these classes. But if you have any questions or if you just want to stay and chat, I definitely invite you to just hang out after this class. We're all going to be here for a little while, and you can just have a casual conversation with us off of the video and not out of the public eye. So thank you again for coming, and we appreciate you coming out, meditating with us, and supporting our school.